The America of the 1960s? A shining era, streets filled with classic cars, nights glowing with neon lights, drive-in theaters packed every weekend, and diners where jukeboxes played nonstop. That world had its own charm.
But today, in 2025, so many of those famous places are gone vanished into history and memory.
Let's take a journey through 50 lost places of America that once defined the 1960s. Let's begin with theme parks. In 1960, New York opened Freedomland, U.S.A., once called the East Coast's answer to Disneyland. But after just 4 years, it closed forever. Chicago's Riverview Park, once one of the largest amusement parks in the country, shut down in 1967. And New Orleans' Pontchartrain Beach, where families once spent summers, finally closed in 1983. Today, in their place stand empty fields, housing, or new developments. The Driven Theater was another symbol of 1960s America. Across towns and cities, families would gather in their cars to watch movies under the stars with popcorn in hand. But over the decades, they slowly disappeared.
Now, only a handful remain scattered across the country.
New York's Paramount Theater and Omaha's Indian Hills Theater were legendary at the time. But today, they exist only in photographs and memories. And then, there was Las Vegas. In the 1960s, Vegas was the capital of glamour. The Stardust, the Sands, and the Dunes hotels stood tall, buzzing with neon lights and live shows. This was the Rat Pack era when Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin filled the lounges with music and laughter. But those hotels are long gone, replaced by massive modern resorts. The historic Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, where Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated, was also torn down in 2005. And the Sahara Hotel in Vegas, once a hotspot, has disappeared as well. The 1960s also marked the rise of shopping malls. Detroit's Northland Center was one of the first major malls in America. People traveled from far and wide to shop there. But in 2015, it was demolished. Randhurst Mall in Illinois and Southdale Center in Minnesota were also icons of that era, but their original look has been completely transformed. Dining in the 1960s had its own culture. Howard Johnson's restaurants once had over 1,000 locations across the nation. By 2022, only one was left, and now even that is gone. Woolworth's lunch counters, made famous during the civil rights protests, have also disappeared, with only traces in museums. In New York and Philadelphia, Horn and Hardart automatsware food popped out of little windowsware, a novelty of their time. But by the 1990s, they were history. The transport system changed dramatically too. New York's original Pennsylvania Station, a magnificent structure built in 1910, was demolished in 1963. Los Angeles red cars and San Francisco's Key System trains, once central to public transit, vanished in the 1960s. Brooklyn's Ebbets Field, where the Dodgers played, was torn down. And New York's Polo Grounds, another historic stadium, was also lost during that decade. Music and nightlife told their own stories. New York as Fillmore East, and San Francisco as West were legendary rock venues in the late 1960s. Icons like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and the Grateful Dead played there. But today, they are long gone. The Peppermint Lounge in New York, birthplace of the twist dance craze, has also vanished.
World fairs captured the imagination of millions in the 1960s. The 1964
New York World's Fair and the 1962 Seattle Expo showcased dreams of the future. While Seattle's Space Needle still stands, most of the other exhibits have disappeared. Houston's Astroworld opened in 1968, was demolished in 2005. San Francisco's Candlestick Park, once home to the Giants and 49ers, was torn down in 2015. Some places live in memory because of tragedy. Alcatraz Prison in San Francisco was closed in 1963, now surviving only as a museum. And of course, the World Trade Center's Twin Towers
built in the 1960s and 70s, were destroyed in the September 11th attacks of 2001. All these places once shined brightly, filled with people, stories, and laughter. They were dreams and landmarks of their time. But as the years passed, America's face changed.
The world of the 1960s with its drive-ins, diners, theme parks.
And glittering Las Vegas nights now survives only in photos, films, and in the memories of those who lived it.